Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Jan Fortman with Relationship Matters TV. Well, first of all, before we start, I want to remind women and men, actually, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Women, ladies, men, get your mammograms. Ladies, I keep saying this, get your mammograms, because when breast cancer is made aware to your physicians, it can be cured. Or even if you end up having to go through chemo and radiation, you want to catch it early. So this is my, can't really see the pink. It's really nice and pink and shiny. This is my breast cancer awareness necklace. Here it is. Yeah. And well, I got on my pink watch. Can't really see this pink. But anyway, I just want to remind all of you to please go and get your mammograms. Well, who's today's guest? Guess what? It's me. I am today's guest. And since this is the Relationship Matters TV show, what I want to do today is talk about relationships. So wherever you are in the world, if it's in the morning, if it's in the afternoon, if it's in the evening, if you're in Europe, which I do have some visitors to come in Europe, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But if you're still up, make sure that you call a neighbor, call a friend, because we're going to talk about, or I'm going to have a conversation with you, and I want you to join in. I want you to ask questions. I want you to make comments. We're going to have a conversation about, well, I said before, the most important relationship in your life was mother-daughter relationship, which we're going to have a show on that. But this relationship is the relationship with yourself. Before you can have a relationship with anyone, you have to have that relationship with yourself. You have to have a good relationship with yourself. I've been on Facebook Lives in the mornings and coming back from working out, and I'm going to work out again tomorrow morning. But I've been talking about the relationship with your body, and it's the relationship with yourself. But today, we're just going to go into this a little bit differently. So now, what is the key to a harmonious life? It's cultivating a good relationship with yourself. So I'm just going to, I hope I used to be a teacher, so I hope it doesn't come out like, I'm a teacher again. But anyway, whatever. Now, in our interconnected world, we often emphasize the importance of building and maintaining relationships with, people around us, our friends, our family, colleagues. And it's a lot of articles out there, and it's a lot of research on cultivating relationships. You can read a lot, you see it on TV, all about improving the bonds with our families and our friends, our partners, our colleagues. But as I said earlier, in different words, the most critical relationship that you can cultivate is we often overlook it. And that's the relationship with yourself. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you a few words of wisdom And if you have some, I want to know. So put it in the chat. I don't say don't put it in the chat, but put it in the chat if you have some advice. And if, if I would say you really thought about this, about, trying to have a good relationship with yourself. Because a lot of times what we do is we do a lot of negative self talk. And it could be anything. We could forget something and say, oh, how can I forget that? I was so stupid. Or we make a bad decision. Oh, God, how can I have done, why didn't I listen or whatever? And that negative talk really impacts you in here. It really, really does. So let's talk about self awareness. Okay. Now, in order to have a good relationship with yourself, you got to understand who you are. And to me, that's kind of difficult because sometimes you think you're a certain kind of person, but they got a lot of quizzes out there, little research quizzes that really kind of help you to know who you really are. So, in other words, but I would say self reflection on a regular basis. Either you can do that like journaling, um, writing down your thoughts, writing down the way that you respond to different things. Some people do meditation. I've tried, and I think after 30 seconds, my mind goes somewhere. But some people really meditate, or you can just sit quietly in a place and do some self contemplation. Because sometimes when you do this, when you have no distractions, it helps you to uncover a lot of your desires, uh, your fears, your strengths, and and where you feel that you could grow. And the thing about self reflection is that you can be totally honest because you're not, talking to a friend or talking to someone else about who do they think you are. You can be honest with yourself. It's difficult sometimes, especially when you talk about your fears or you talk about where you feel that you can grow. And when I sit and do self reflection, uh, of course, I have certain desires, certain things I want to do, certain places I want to go. And I talk, if I think about my fears, what am I really, really deeply afraid of? And my strengths and areas of growth. And I know my areas of growth very well. I need to be more patient. Um, I'm a procrastinator. I wait till the last minute and I say to I say, oh, well, I work better under pressure. But it's really kind of procrastination. And the second thing I'd like to say to you is practice self compassion. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves. And as I said earlier, you make a mistake, you make the wrong decision or something, and you're so hard on yourself. But guess what? If that was a friend, you wouldn't berate them like that. You wouldn't say, "Oh, you were so stupid. You just so dumb." You wouldn't do it. You would not berate a friend. Be a friend to yourself. Don't do the same thing to yourself. Excuse me. Treat yourself with the same kindness and patience that you offer to others. Now, this doesn't mean that you avoid accountability, but actually it's approaching mistakes as opportunities to learn. and grow. So, when you make a mistake, yes, you know, to yourself, you're like, oh man, but have some self compassion. It's easy to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, including you. Don't do that negative self talk. Uh, don't berate yourself. Have some compassion and talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend who's made a horrible, well, who feels that they've made a really bad mistake. What would you do? You would support them. You would tell them, there's a net in here. You would tell them, no, it's not the end of the world. It's a lesson. Um, you know, you would be very supportive. Now, the third thing is boundaries. Often we talk about boundaries in our external relationships, right? We have set boundaries. Um, no one's going to talk to me this way. Um, I have boundaries in that I'm only going to uh, answer the phone at certain times, or I'm only going to talk to this person or that person. We set boundaries, external boundaries. But what about your internal boundaries that have nothing to do with somebody else? It only has something to do with you. So, what are some of the internal boundaries that a lot of times, especially we as women, cross over, I should say? And that is taking time for self care. Now, women, and I'm just doing this, generally because I know everybody isn't like this, but a lot of times we take care of everybody else first before we take care of ourselves. I have a friend now who is under so much stress because she's taking care of her. Well, she got to take care of her husband. But what I'm saying is, her husband, her son, her granddaughter. She's so stressed. She misses doctor's appointments. She misses a lot of things. She misses going out with her friends. She misses even she even told me that she didn't go, we love to go shopping and we love to go, to the beautician, get our hair done and all that. She didn't even do that because she was so busy taking care of everybody else. Now, I don't mean that, you're selfish and that you only take care of you yourself. But what you have to do is take some time for your own self care. Because if you don't care for yourself, how are you going to really care for anyone else? So set some time out for your self care. Go get a massage, go get your nails done. Because see, all of these things, go get a manicure, pedicure. All of these things are taking care of yourself. Go sit somewhere quietly. If it is meditation or reading something that you love to read, or just outside enjoying the weather, or taking a walk, or working out, which is what I do. It's self care. And and I said this earlier, limit your negative self talk. Now, not only is the self talk saying, like, oh, I'm, this and I'm that and I, I'm stupid, I'm done. How could I remember, forget that or anything like that? But those negative thoughts that come into your mind. I read this book, and I think it's called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolley. And he says to when you have those negative thoughts in your head, and you know how somebody said something to you, and you can't get over it, and it's running through your mind. Um, Someone did something to you wrong that you felt was wrong, and it keeps running through your mind, and he said you could put like a mantra up, and because that is what he says is called, it's called your pain body, which is a body of pain, and it comes into your head, it comes into your mind. So whenever I have those thoughts, which I do, I'll just say pain body, pain body, pain body, and it goes away. Now, I was also told to, at one time I had it like on the dashboard of my car, because it seems like if I'm just driving in my car and I'm not listening to the radio or anything like that, you start thinking and negative thoughts. And if I look over, I see pain body, I say pain body, pain body, pain body. So think about that. And ensure that you get adequate sleep and rest. Now, that's something that I crave, because there are times when I might go to bed at 10 and wake up at 2 and can't get back to sleep. So what should I do? Actually take a nap. But anyway, so establish your internal boundaries. Now, another thing, celebrate yourself. Celebrate your achievements, because it's easy for us to be our harshest critics. But also take time to be your biggest cheerleader. When you do something that you know you have accomplished something, celebrate yourself. Small victories. Okay, today, uh, a victory for me. Today, I cleaned up my bathroom from top to bottom and even got in the corners with a toothbrush. Well, that was a victory for me. So celebrate. Like, wow, I really did that. I feel good about myself. Anytime that you can celebrate small victories, large victories, do it. Celebrate yourself, because when you do this, it reinforces positive behavior, and it also boosts your confidence. A victory it can be anything. If you have a victory that you want to celebrate, let me see. Uh-huh. I want you all to put it in the chat. Let me know what victory, small, large, something that made you feel good. Put it in the chat, because I want to know what victories that you celebrate. I had some big ones, and if you all have been following me, my big ones, the billboard in Times Square, um, uh, being crowned Miss Senior Illinois America 2022, even this podcast. So let me see. I think someone shared a victory. Let me see. Oh, hi, the Donovan. I love me, the Donovan. And he was on my show. All you have to do is go back to, if you watch on YouTube, just scroll until you find the most amazing pianist that you have ever seen. Fingers, oh my God. But anyway, so the Donovan says, okay, let's see. What did the Donovan say? He said, this is huge. We must celebrate our achievements. I had a ceremony recently hanging my degrees and certificates. I have a problem celebrating my accomplishments. I've never been to any of my own graduations. Oh, Donovan, the Donovan. I gotta remember, it's the Donovan, not Donovan. Congratulations, the Donovan. I wish I had been there. And you know what else? I don't know if you all know this about the Donovan, but every Christmas he puts on, he does something great for the children with toys and things that he gives to just many children. So let's see. Someone else put some junk up here, which I'm not going to read. And let's see. The Donovan says, I am making a change and I won't make that happen again. Wonderful, Donovan. And you know what? Let me know when you're celebrating your small and large victory so I can put it up on my Facebook page. Okay. So let's see what else. Anyone else? I see some other people who are on here. I don't know your names, but I can see you. So put your celebrations. I know that you have some celebrations, no matter what if even if you think it's a small one. Oh, Donovan, you're so sweet. He says you're a part of so many celebrations and so many victories for so many people. Thank you, the Donovan. I really, really appreciate that. I really, really do. And then I think you told me something about you were going to be doing background music to a movie that's coming out. I'm not going to say who it's with or um, what the movie is. I'll let you do that when it's time. So, okay. And number 5, in activities. No, engage in activities that spark your joy. So, hobbies. What kind of hobbies do you have, or interests uh, that ignite passion and excitement? Uh, my hobby, I used to sing a lot, and then I used to play the piano, which I used to love. I don't do that anymore. But the hobby, I love to read mystery novels, and it interests me. And actually, when I'm trying to think of who done it, so to speak, it's kind of exciting. So that's really the only hobby that I really have. I used to crochet. I used to sew and make my own clothes. Oh, line dance. I don't know if you call that a hobby. I haven't been able to do it uh, here lately because they closed the place down. And but uh, that was exciting because now when you have a hobby or an interest that you're passionate about, uh, these are the kind of activities they're not just for relaxation, but it helps you to understand and express yourself better. So just like they say, when you dance like nobody's watching. Enjoy yourself. Um, uh, you know, it can be exciting. Passionate. Some people they have all kinds of hobbies: skating, um, going to operas. That's an activity, but still, some people see it as a hobby because they do it all the time. Now, number 6, educate yourself. That means personal growth. It doesn't necessarily mean, going to school or anything like that, but acquiring knowledge. I feel I am a lifelong learner. I've had a long, I am not had, I am having a long life. I'm blessed and highly favored. But I love to learn. You'd be surprised. It's so much out there to learn. It's like, OMG. I'm always saying, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh wow. What? I didn't know that. It is so much out here to learn. Just, from reading. If you like to take a course, uh, going to different workshops, uh, like engaging in new experiences. So when we're talking about, somebody's texting me, when you talk about acquiring knowledge, uh, and I can't even do this. My finger won't do. Wrong hand. Why are these phones so attuned to your fingers? I was doing the wrong finger. But anyway, yeah, new experiences. Do something that you've never done before that you've always thought about doing, legally. What is it that you've always wanted to do? Now, some people, let's see, some people, when they talk about new experiences, oh no, I've always wanted to do it, but I'm afraid to do that. Go ahead, do it. If you like to go skydiving, which of course I wouldn't, but if that's something you've always wanted to do, go ahead and do it. It's acquiring new knowledge, it's new experiences, and actually it's exciting, and also it's something that you can celebrate, and actually it really enriches your relationship with yourself. It really does. So educate yourself, acquire some knowledge. Some people will say, I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. Okay. Even if you don't want to go out and find somebody one to teach you, you can go on YouTube and you can learn how to play the piano. And just think how exciting it would be for, like, I don't know, it takes a whole lot to be like the Donovan. But just think about how exciting it would be when you learn your first piano piece. Think about that. It's so many things I guess I can think about that you could do just for a new experience. If your hobby is cooking, try a brand new recipe, and you like, you know what? I don't really think I could even cook that. But maybe so. Maybe so. Try just eating something different. You know, I like to try and eat something different. Something like, I've always wanted to know how that tastes. As long as, of course, it has no dairy, because then I'm lactose intolerant. And even though it's something that I really would like, I can't. Now, another, prioritize your physical health. The mind and the body are intertwined. Regular exercise. Now, I exercise with my trainer, the House of Pain, we call him. His name is Mike, and he's been on my show too. And I work out 3 days a week, but I know that I need to maybe, a couple of more days, not with him, but maybe just maybe at home, or it's a gym not too far from me. Because to tell you the truth, when I work out, when I exercise, it seems like it clears up my mind, and I feel better when I come from working. Now, even though while I'm in there, I'm moaning and groaning and huffing and puffing and uh, trying to convince him that I am a senior citizen and I should get a senior citizen discount, as far as, not doing as many reps as other people are doing, which doesn't work. He just says, and, but anyway, but anyway, I might even, when we leave out, my friend and I, and we go just get a little breakfast, and that's what I'm going to talk about next, a balanced diet. we'll go to breakfast and we'll have a, we share a biscuit, a half of a biscuit. I have an egg white one and maybe about 3 tablespoons of grits. That's it. That's my breakfast. But what I was going to say is when we come into the restaurant, sometimes they look at us and they say, "Woo, he really worked you all out today." And we're like, "Ugh." But when I'm leaving the restaurant and for the rest of my day, I feel good. My mind, I'm up, so to speak. And we go early in the morning. We used to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now we get there at 7. And I'm not a morning person. Never have been. I've got a coffee mug that says I am not a morning person. But it really helps for the rest of the day. So regular exercise. Now that can mean I work out, with weights and ropes and all that kind of stuff. But it can just be taking a walk every day, or if you run. But if you walk, you don't have to walk far. You could just start off, slowly. But the more you walk, the more you move, the better you will feel. Your mind and your body are intertwined. And balanced diet, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Because when you think about it, when you have a lot of illnesses and you look at the causes, a lot of it has to do with what you are eating. So a balanced diet every now and then, yeah, go ahead, and go a little off your diet every now and then, but a balanced diet and sleep. Sleep, of course, can improve your mental well-being, and it gives you a more positive outlook on yourself and what you are capable of doing. So what I got to do right now, I've been doing a lot of talking myself. So, okay. Donovan, I see a question here, and what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about that. I've got to pay the bills, so I've got to do a quick commercial, and when I come back from the commercial, then I'm going to we're going to go into what you are asking me. Okay, all right, you all don't go anywhere, and look. He's the only one that put a celebration in. Come on. If you work out, put it in there. Let me know what you do. If you have a hobby, put it in the chat. Let me know what you do. What you like, what you don't like. Let me know. Okay. So I will be right back after a couple of commercials. Stay tuned. Don't go away. Okay, we are back. And I did get a victory here on my phone. Maxine says she has a small victory. They came and got the machines that were drying out her house. What happened? And she's going to get some great sleep tonight. And she hadn't been able to work out, but she'll be back working out with me on Monday. But she had a flood in her house. And so now her victory is that she'll be able to get some sleep, and the people came and got all the machines that dried out, drying out the house. So she feels good. So she's celebrating. So now what I wanted to do was go here to Donovan and the Donovan. And he says, how do you fight imposter syndrome? And a lot of us have that. I even have that at times. But what you have to do now, this is just me and my opinion, and if anyone else out there um, would like to chime in, please do. But don't compare yourself to anybody. And I think that's where the imposter syndrome comes in, because we start thinking that, oh, they're better than us, or oh, I can't do what they do, or I can't, I can't do that. And I think that's when you're comparing yourself to to other people. You have to remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And to me, the sky is the limit. What you have to do, and this is just me, and what I have to do is say, you know what? I'm going to do this anyway. I, you know, I don't care what other people think about me. It's what I think about me. Now, the Donovan, like I said, when I met you, I was listening to someone playing the piano, and I, took piano lessons from the time I was little to I was like a teenager when I decided to rebel. But I have an ear, and I was a classically trained pianist, and I have an ear. I heard this piano, and remember, I came over there by you, and I thought, OMG. Oh, the touch, what was coming from your fingers and from your heart. That is you. That is you. And there's no one else like you. So the imposter syndrome is when we don't think we're good enough. You need to start thinking and knowing you are good enough. You are good enough. And if it takes what they say, like a mantra or meditation or whatever, I forgot I can't think of the word to use, but when you write something out, like well, for women, like, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm this, I'm that. Um, and you look at that in the morning. They say what you do is you look at it 3 times a day. You look at it in the morning, you look at it in the afternoon, and you look at it in the evening before you go to bed. You keep doing that every single day, and your imposter syndrome will be gone, because you will be, uh, you know what, honestly, honestly. And to tell you the truth, the Donovan, that's what I would have to do, because, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. Uh, uh, and then people saying, you can't do that. And I tell you, I have been told, you too old to do this, you too old to do that. When you go sit down, that's, what you doing is this, that, and another. Now, let's say I'm thinking that already, like, oh, you know, and so that imposter syndrome comes up where I don't think I'm good enough or I can. So, yeah. Thank you, Donna. He says, wow, you're such an inspiration. Thank you, Donna, for really, honestly. So something came in. Oh, yes, someone sent a text and said affirmations. That was the word that I was looking for. Affirmations. So, yeah, write an affirmation and read it in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Okay, so uh, I see you people there. I can see you. And you're not saying anything. Do you have any affirmations? Have you ever felt that you had that imposter syndrome? And if you did, how did you overcome it? Okay. Now, the next one. If all of this doesn't work, seek professional help. You might need a coach, a relationship coach. Me, I am a relationship communications coach, and I do coach one-on-one. I had a group, but the group graduated, and I do one-on-one coaching, and we really go into depth. We really go deep into not only the relationship with yourself, and it's all about communication and your personal and your professional relationships. And I'm going to give you a little story of why I really came into this. So I'm going to ask you a question, everyone. Have you ever been in a situation where no matter what you said, you would be misunderstood, and your relationship was just going down, deteriorating, and you were wondering what the heck was going on? And the person that who I wanted to understand me and have the best relationship of my life was that was my mom. And we would, as I got older, we would argue and just, I couldn't understand it. So one day she said to me, I asked her, why is it if I say blue, you say black? And, why can't we get along? And you know what she told me? She said, you know what? It's the way you talk to me. I thought, what? It's the words you use. It's your body language. It's the tone of your voice. It's all of that. Then I started thinking, wait a minute. What about my relationships on my job? And what about the way I communicate on my job? And so one day we were sitting around this table, and it was a brainstorming meeting, and we were supposed to come up with uh, an idea or a program because I used to be an educator in the public school system, to help children uh, read their reading comprehension and improve it. And I came up with this idea, and I thought, oh, it's brilliant. And around the table was like a whole hums, right? Oh yeah, okay. And then about 10 minutes later, someone came up with the same idea and said it differently. And they were like, oh, wow, this is wonderful. This is great. Yes, this is something that we can get with. This is something that we can plan it to work with. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Didn't I just say that? And then when I look back, a very, very, very good friend of mine, we've been friends forever, since the 70s. And she said to me, when I first met you, I introduced myself to you. And you just looked at me, like, and I thought, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. So what I'm going back to is the relationship, not only with other people, but the relationship with yourself. I did some self-reflection. I ended up doing research. I ended up reading books. And that's when I learned about your relationship with yourself, and it impacts your relationships with everybody else in your personal and your professional life. So let me say this. If you feel like you need a coach, you can always contact me. You can DM me on Facebook, or you can, and I have it here, but I still don't want to click on it. I will later. Uh, but you can email me at Jan for now 125 at gmail.com. So Jan, Jan, the number 4, NOW125 at gmail.com. So someone asked me, how'd you get that email? Because at the time, I couldn't think of anything. So I said, okay, Jan for now. Then I said, well, my birthday is 12/5, 125. Okay, so Jan for now, 125 at gmail.com. So now, let's say you feel you need really some deeper help, because I'm not a therapist, I am a coach. Then don't be afraid to seek professional help, because sometimes that journey to your self-love and your acceptance is extremely challenging. And a therapist or a counselor can provide you with tools and perspectives that you might not even consider. And 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 a coach who's not medically trained or psychologically trained, or trained in psychology, or psychiatrist, you know, can't go that deep, because sometimes you really need professional help. And as I said before, Donovan, about the imposter syndrome, limit comparisons, because social media, it's easy to compare yourself with other people that you see, you know, and and all you're seeing really is that facade that they have to present to you, not have to, but present to you on social media. Uh, uh, so, and you have to think about, everybody has their own journey and their own pace. So what you have to do is focus on your own path and your own progress and your own journey. I was at a conference, and the people who were there were, I would say, the one percenters. And when I say one percenters, I meant like multimillionaires and billionaires. But you talk about the imposter syndrome. Ooh, what am I doing here? However, once I started talking with them, one on one, it was like, you know what? They're just like me. They have the same issues. They have the same problems. Some of them have really horrible physical ailments. They're the same. And so, actually, the same goals, the same passions, you know, in other words, they were no different from me, other than the fact, of course, they were multimillionaires and billionaires. So everybody has their own journey. Concentrate on you and your journey. And the last thing I want to say is practice gratitude, because daily gratitude practices can shift your focus from what you don't have, from what you feel you lack, from what you think you want to change, all the way to appreciating what you already have. So when you practice gratitude over time, this can foster a more positive and contented relationship with yourself. So I'm going to read something here. In the tapestry of life, your relationship with yourself is the central thread from which all others radiate. By fostering a nurturing and understanding relationship with yourself, you create a solid foundation from which to approach the world and its myriad challenges. Remember, the journey inward is continuous, but the rewards are endless. So, let's see. Have more love, gratitude, yes. Better relationships with yourself. Thank you so much. You know, uh, it's been a while since I did one of these on my own, by myself without a guest. And I really enjoyed it. And I really want to thank all of you for staying tuned and listening. And I really hope that I have given you some value, some things that you can take with you, internalize, and use. So remember, the relationship with yourself, that's the most important relationship that you can have. So the Donovan, I love me some the Donovan. This has been so amazing and inspiring. Thank you, the Donovan. And he has a page full of notes. And for you who didn't take notes, you can see the replay on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, Dr. Janice Foreman. And now someone is calling me she's in Arizona. I'll have to call her back. But unless she's watching. Oops, I dropped my mouse. Hold on. She might have a comment. Let's see. Are you watching my show, Dorothy? Oh, do you have a comment to she is watching. Do you have a comment to make? You made me drop my mouse. They can't hear you laughing. I'm not gonna put you on speakerphone. So what is your comment? Oops. What's your comment? Can I put you on? Can I put you on speakerphone so they can hear you if your comment? Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, I am speaking with my dearest friend. Janice. I've known her for a very long time, and we have the best fun every time we speak with each other. However, I didn't know that I was not a good listener.
So why do you say that? And you got 2 minutes.
Because I've been told that I don't listen, but maybe it is because I'm anticipating the answer. I don't know, but
yeah, you know what? The next time I'm on, and I'm going to talk about communication, because listening is the number one thing that we don't do. A lot of times we listen to respond. But anyway, Dorothy, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome. And I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You know how long I've been knowing Dorothy? I've been knowing Dorothy. Oh, I guess. Well, she's my older friend because she made 81 before me, 4 months before me. But anyway, yeah, we've been knowing each other since we were little bitty kids. Ooh, it's a whole lot. We got a whole lot of secrets. But anyway, that we can't tell anybody. But anyway, Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I've given you some value. And I hope that you come in next week because I have an amazing guest. And it won't be me this time, it'll be someone else. Thank you. Thank you. So enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon. There are all kinds of relationships, all kinds of relationship matters, and the relationship with yourself is the relationship matter that you should be most concerned about. So see you again next week. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye. Oh, is my mouse not working because I dropped it on the floor? Well, I think this is a touch screen